over to the other dealie.
Hello and welcome to the Codename Wide Show. I'm your host, Sloane from the Cloud Cartel UK. This show is our new show about coil building and everything in between. Let's introduce our co-hosts. Over to you, Duchess.
Hi, I'm Duchess. I like gold.
Yeah, she did it.
Sorry.
Oh,
We
that's
talked
too
about that behind scenes. It's a joke. But yes, I am Duchess, and just glad to be here. So, what you got going on, Clown?
Yeah, I'm Clown, KVTV, J, whatever the hell you want to call me. That's me. All the pseudonyms and the nicknames and stuff. All right, so yeah, take it away, Sloane. What are we
Right.
doing?
We thought we would start as per usual about what is everybody vaping on nowadays. At the moment, I'm smashing out the OG Recoil and the heavy hitter with a pair of my 26s, and in there I've got some Clown Special Wrecking Balls, bit of key lime pie, absolutely delicious. Also, I have the Ether on the Odin 100 with a pair of Clowns aliens in there, and I'm vaping as well. A bit of Yoda blood, 50-50 mix. Also, as a third, I've got a passage on top of the drag with a pair of Duchess 28 aliens in there. And with that, I've got some Own Boy Mango. Duchess, what are you vaping on?
Well, I've got that RCM Mando, custom coated by our dude Ashton at Palmer's Powders with the RDA for vaping on top and a Holy Blue Jeans chop top. I've got Clowns 27s on the inside with some baked strawberry caramel cream. Right after that, I've got my 26s inside the Suicide 21700 on the Valhalla 28 with the Platinum Balls chop top. Shout out to Jess Marie over at DHD. With some sugar cookie on the inside, and I got Sloane's 27s on the inside of my Arbiter. On top of that, Nostromo Death Wish box mod with a custom Duchess theme. Otherwise, that's all I've got going on, so I'll pass it off to Clown.
All right, first off, I got a oldie but a goodie type thing. I got the Skill RDA on top of the Wismec Machina. Found it on some BSD group. I was like, fuck it, let's give it a try. I've been wanting to try it since they came out. And then that I got Super Serial. In this, I do have Duchess coils. Got the 26s. I feel bad because like, I actually tore apart that stack tube that I had with Sloane's coils. So I'm like, damn, feel like a dick. But I'm gonna have to fucking build something else with your coils. Give them a try. Something else. Then I do have the Turret RDA on top of the Vert. And in that, I got a Tribute of a Tribute, which is it's a clone of Sifu's Yig clone. So if you ever want to give that a try, hit up Sifu. He has a pretty good recipe going. And then lastly, I got the Reload S tank on top of the Stratum Zero. And in that, I got Sifu's Fig Custard. Seriously, guys, out of the new flavors he's come out with, holy crap, get that one. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking amazing. I want to make some fig custard. That's how good it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll get into our main topic. This is the first episode. We're just going to go around the panel and talk about how we got into vaping, how we got in from making coils to selling coils, and all that jazz. So I'm guessing, do you want me to start? As I'm already flapping.
Yeah. Why not?
Sweet. Well, I started vaping just over 4 and a bit years ago. It was actually my mum and my doctor that told me to move over to vaping from smoking because I was doing about 40 a day. So I moved over to vaping, started on as everyone else did, probably a sub-ohm tank, an old TFE 12 I think it might have been, or the one before there. Wanted to get into rebuildables and realised that I'm a tight-fisted bastard and didn't want to spend £15 to £18 on a set of coils. So decided to learn to build myself. So I was doing that for many years, 2.5 years. Gave some to some friend and said I'd give these a go. And he loved them, and then gave them to a couple of other people, and they convinced me to then go and sell coils, which I've been doing since December. But if I'm honest, I never realised how difficult it was actually going to be. You watch these videos of people making like aliens. I could do that. It ain't going to be that difficult. Let me tell you now, if any of you guys have never tried building an alien, it took me, I would say, a good 6-7 months and probably about 500 foot of wire minimum just to be able to get not even a much for half a coil. But mate, it's hard work. They really make you work for it. And I know Duchess and Jay's are similar as me, bit of a perfectionist. Yeah, it takes so long.
Okay. Perfectionist with Duchess is an understatement. He is way too hard on himself sometimes. We give him a hard time, but he's harder on himself than anybody else.
That is true, yeah. But mate, once you get the bug, you can't stop building. Any wait a minute, you've got. Oh, do you know what? Let me jump on the drill. It can be 11:30 at night, and I've just walked in from work from doing 10 hours, been out of the house for like 13 hours. I was like, do you reckon I can get away with making a pair of aliens at 11:30 at night? But it's a major bug. It's the same with you, Jay, with your mixing as well that you do.
Oh yeah.
It's once you start, it just consumes you.
Oh, especially once you get that first recipe. It's like once you get that first coil down that you've been trying to get, you can't stop. It's just constant.
But it's amazing when you actually look deeper into it, because I thought it was so simple. Like my first build was a fused Clapton, but it was like a 22 wrapped in a 26, which you don't do. But this thing was an absolute beast, and luckily,
the first time you told me that, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Dual coil as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? There was no space left in it, but not knowing Ohm's law or anything about resistance or anything like that, I just dove right in, and that thing used to burn your face every time you vaped it. But then you watch. The great thing about YouTube, you just jump on there, have a type around, and you start learning stuff, and and here I am now. I think I went live in December. Shout out! I know he's in the chat. Jackson Vape Reviews. He was one of the first blokes to buy my coils. I didn't even know he was a reviewer. He was like, "Oh, can I buy a set of your coils?" Mm-hmm. And guy's an absolute legend. So, you all right, Jackson? How's it going? Thank you for coming. Duchess? Go on, Matt.
So, first off, let me defend why I'm such a perfectionist, okay? If you're going to put something out...
defend it.
No, and I get that, right? But... some people would ask, why are you so hard about it, right? But if you're going to put something out, it's a representation of yourself.
Oh, yeah, it's your brand.
You're just going to automatically want to put out the absolute very best that you can possibly put out.
Yeah.
Right? So even if I see something on a leg, right, when I'm straightening things out and stuff, even if it's going to be clipped off, I'm like, nope, that goes in the fucking bin.
Goes in the graveyard.
Yeah.
It's in the Fermi pile.
Yeah, right.
My graveyard pile's bigger than anything else.
Yeah, so actually a couple days ago, I just passed my 4-year vape anniversary. So I'm now into 4 years without it. And honestly, it came about just because I couldn't even barely walk up, a set of stairs without being like fatigued, right? Like I was 1,000 pounds or some shit. And so at that point, I consciously made the effort to call my brother, because I knew he had a couple of pens here and there, with some Sloane tanks and stuff on them, like the old school, like kind of old school now, but you guys remember those like rainbow colored pens that Smock came out with, and they had the fucking Prince tanks and shit with them?
Yeah, the TF8 sticks.
Like the V8 babies, whatever they're called.
I know he had a couple of those, and so I was like, hey bro, do you have like a spare one that I can borrow from you until I can go get my own, right? Like I just kind of want to see how this all works out. And he was like, well, I could do you one better, and we can hook you up and whatever. So we went down to the shop, and I purchased my first setup with some liquid, extra coils, batteries, etc. And then I was one of the special cases where I literally started vaping, never bought another pack of cigarettes, and after a week, I never even looked back at that point. Like the cravings for a cigarette were gone, right? Like obviously, I still wanted my nicotine, of course, right? But everything else that like you crave out of a cigarette was gone. Like I just didn't have it anymore. It wasn't there. So then time kind of progressed. I got into it, and I was like, oh well, this shit's pretty cool. I mean, I really like all these flavors and everything else, much like everyone else. And so from there, I tried mixing up my own liquids, which if you want to go pick one up, you can go get some Duchess cheesecake from Seafood. Shameless plug. Sorry.
Gotta plug them, man.
I,
I mean, this show is partially a massive
Yeah,
plug.
it's just one big plug.
I mean, I did try to mix for a little bit because I was like, man, liquid's starting to get a little expensive. I'm going through it too fast, all this other stuff. So I did try to mix for a little bit, but then I just didn't have the passion for it. Like I see some of these dudes like on the Mixing It Up crew have. And so I decided to try my hand at coils. So I got my first RDA, which was the Bonza. Yeah, it was the Bonza from Vaping Bogan. And so it just kind of started me down the path from there, and then I got me a little bit of a setup, and that's where I'm at now. Just kind of started progressing, and I mean, like Sloane was saying, it took me a hot minute and a lot of wire, many hours just spent just sitting on the drill trying to figure it out, and
Totally frustrated.
yeah, totally frustrated. Sorry, let me mute my Alexa before Amazon goes off again. Yeah, I mean, and then that's how I got to where I'm at now. So, what you got, Klowne?
All right, so I'm the old fart in the show because I've been around for quite a long time. My 9-year vape anniversary was last month at some point. I don't fucking remember the exact date. I just know it was in March somewhere. And so it took forever for me to like quit wholly because just I was a dual user for years, and it just took a while for it to take just because MTL was not my bag at the time, and I didn't realize it until later on. But the first thing that I got that really set me straight was the Subohm, the Kanger sub box, and that also came with an RDA section, and that's where like building kind of became a thing for me because it was like I could either try to figure out to get more coils, figure out round wire, which I honestly kind of hated. I wasn't really a fan of like the vape that round wire gave me. So I ended up just trying to figure out fuse Claptons, and uh I like how Sloane said, you just go to YouTube and check it out. And like back then there weren't so many people doing YouTube tutorials yet. So there was like it was scarce. And I always like to tell people the first review, like a tutorial I ever saw was Rip Trippers, which yes, he used to do tutorials like
God, that
proper
must have been a long
tutorials
time
and
ago.
stuff. Yeah. And so it's from him where I learned to do like fuse Claptons, and then the one that really helped me out was Grimm's fuse Claptons made easy video,
Yeah.
because that's where he talked about doing the swivels and stuff. Because before that, people were just building coils with the wire flopping around everywhere, and I personally was not a fan of that because that shit whipped me in the face one time, and I've gotten hit with guitar strings before snapping on me, and I was like, yeah, we're not playing this game now. So, all that kind of helped. And for me, like doing aliens was one of like the biggest like things that I actually chased after. That one took me like I'm a slow learner to begin with, but that was just a pain because it literally took me about 2 years to get that down. I would like visit it, get all frustrated, walk away, visit it, walk away. And like I even learned how to do frame staples before I even learned how to do fucking aliens, which yeah. And
No,
ribbon wire is a pain in the ass.
no
But
ribbon
yeah, I
wire.
mean,
No
I've
ribbon wire.
been
No.
yeah. Hashtag no ribbon wire. But yeah, dude, we've been at this. I mean, even I used to watch Daily Vape TV when he used to do the Coil Build tutorials and stuff. Some of the stuff he did was pretty cool. And even on Instagram, watching some of the crazy builds people do, I'm like, dude, I would love to do that, but it feels like such a waste of wire. But at some point, I want to take care of that and want to do some of those builds. Because even I would ask some of the other builders I had met throughout my time, and they're like, yeah, dude, it's just a giant waste of wire. They just look cool, but you're not going to vape on them. So just keep that in mind whenever you decide to do that. I'm like, okay, interesting. But yeah, that's me for the most part.
Mate, but how bad is ribbon wire? Like, well, I know we say no to ribbon wire, but if you haven't built, ribbon wire is the most rage-inducing bit of metal I've ever worked with.
Because when you're trying to spin it, it can go haywire real easily. And say you actually have a proper stick and you go to coil wrap it, if you mess up somehow and you didn't see a kink or something when you're wrapping it, it can go haywire.
The one thing that
accidentally wrapped it too tight and didn't realize it, and then you go to coil it, and your cores decide that they want to collapse on the inside, and everything goes fucked.
I think the thing that really threw me from starting the whole coil building is when you watch videos like the one video that taught me aliens. Obviously, we'll get into it, talk about aliens later on, but it's normally a connection of different videos that you take techniques from to find your own way of doing it. But mine was Sherlock Holmes, some of his way of building, and you're looking at him doing it on the video, but then when you come to do it yourself, you forget how small the wire is. And you're trying to wrap me like, hang on, I can't see this. So you end up getting close, and then I don't know if it's the same as you. I'm half blind anyway, so I can't. I need glasses, but I never wear them. But I find myself now just through feel. I never look too much at the actual strip that I'm wrapping until I finished it. I do most of it from feel. Because if you try and look down at it, I struggle.
Oh, well, okay. Like trying to do aliens, it has gotten to that point where you got to do it by feel, because I'm running the drill a little bit faster nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to do it by feel, and you just hope that once you come to a pause point or something, you didn't fuck up somewhere. And it's one of those things, because like I was telling Sloane a while back, my main issue isn't it like over wrapping or pulling back. That one does happen here and there, but to me it's mohawking. I accidentally mohawk a lot, and that to me tends to be a big issue. And I'm like, I don't want mohawks, I want aliens.
But when you try and do a mohawk, you can't do it.
No, I haven't even tried.
I've managed to get them down a couple of times, and I got two really nice ones out. I thought, let me vape it. I didn't like them. Visually, they look really good. As soon as you try and vape them, I really didn't like it.
I've heard they're very spitty.
Yeah,
in a pleasant way.
They weren't good.
It's like well, I was like, you were talking about trying to be able to see small wire. I actually attempted that 32 gauge alien I told you guys about.
Yeah.
And I decided to do the outside wrap with a 40 gauge. Dude, that shit is so hard to see.
Dude.
Even Matthews Clapton's a 40 gauge.
Clapton's, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a journey, but we're gonna do it at some point.
Yeah, dude.
I can't believe your aliens are in the ether, and they are so small. I'm yet to jump into the whole mouth to lung world. I need to get into it. So that's why it's my first MTL, and I got the glass MTL as well that I want to try and start building on. But mate, that is ridiculously small.
I just want to put this in perspective for people, right? So this is 36 gauge, all right? Now imagine trying to spin this, right, and wrap this up at 1,000 plus RPMs.
Yeah.
You pull on that too hard, and that's just going to deform.
Think about it. I do my wraps in 38, slightly thinner.
It's just too small.
Yeah.
But it's mental. It's mental.
Much like Sloane, I'm legally blind without my glasses. I can't see anything. So,
I'm getting there. I can't. I take these off and everything just goes blurry and blobby.
Well, I'm meant to wear glasses. I just never do. That's the only problem. But no, it's interesting when you're looking at it from the perspective of jumping into the coil business rather than just doing it for fun. Because I don't know if you was the same as me. When you're making, just say, a set for yourself, I would take a lot longer to do it. But when I'm trying to make a lot, obviously you run it a bit faster. But I know I'm different to you guys, where when I wrap my any coil I have, I do enough just for 2 coils. I only wrap probably about 10 at the most. Well, I know Duchess could do a whole freaking table load. He just does one big. Yeah,
my strands are typically like 3 feet long.
I can't do it. I've tried it a couple of times,
for
but
your decor or for the full coil itself.
When I actually do the alien.
Okay, yeah, I can't do that much. Honestly, I'm still at the point where I'm doing one at a time, just because
I have a 5 foot.
I end up fucking it up.
Yeah, I only do enough for 2 coils, and I take my time over each one of them. And I can see Jackson in the chat. Sorry, guys, I can't actually answer chat because I just haven't worked it out yet. So if you're talking to me, I'm sorry, I will answer it. But Jackson's saying about my stagger fuse Claptons. They are the most annoyingest things to make, but I love them. I tried to make some earlier on today, and I managed just one pair in the space of about 25 minutes because they're just such a ball ache.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get that space in.
Yeah,
but
that's it. And I can't. That's the one issue I've had with staple fuse Claptons. I don't know. I will say, if you're a new builder and you're wanting to get into it, just skip all the tiny drills and just go to a good drill initially, because if not, you're gonna end up spending a lot more money trying to find a good drill, trying to like go through those baby steps. Honestly, just learn how to run the drill slower and eventually work your way up to the speed versus because okay, here,
that's what I did. Fucking
this is my first drill right here. It's the Ryobi something or other. This thing is so light and tiny and just does not get speed. Trying to do a Clapton on this is just forever.
This was my first. I paid $20 at Walmart for it.
Yeah,
and it runs only at like 600 RPMs max.
Yeah,
so
I think that one runs at
it was
4.
nice and slow, and I could figure things out. And then eventually, like, I upgraded, got a better drill, and now my drill runs at almost 2,000 RPMs.
Mm-hmm.
If it spins, you're fine. You don't need anything fancy.
That's 1,000 RPM right there.
Yeah. I'm still using my first drill that I have. And I will need to upgrade, but here he goes, showing off his drills.
Yeah. That fucker gets speed. But I mean, it's just trying to figure out what tools work for you, because I mean, everybody has their own style and way of doing things, and it is trying to figure what will work for you. Because I mean, there are some people that still build to the chuck. There are others that use tools like I use. If you can see on the video, I use one of those clamps and stuff to hold my cores. To me, that just seems easier than using the chuck. It annoyed the fuck out of me.
Yeah, like my chuck end's a bit buggered, so I use just to keep them in place. I use Lego pieces on the chuck end just to keep them in line. But the rest is free. I just do it freehand. But I know when I first started, I used to use 4 Lego pieces, 2 at the chuck, and then I used to leave that much gap, then another lot, do a little bit, move it along, do a little bit until you can learn the feel of it. But I know some. I think Duchess used to use paper clips to hold your decors in.
So originally, when I first started, I went the baby mode route and bought a Daedalus Pro. And then like eventually, like over time, like I kind of just like started getting rid of pieces like here and there, right? Like slowly progressed my way up to getting better. But for the longest time, I used to use the little core stabilizers that came in the package, but they weren't holding up very well. After a certain amount of time, like it was causing more problems than it should have.
Yeah.
So eventually, I got rid of those, moved over to paper clips, and then to be honest, the paper clips were kind of just starting to annoy me because I didn't like having to like stop in the middle of wrapping and then move the
Yeah.
paper clip down and then continue wrapping, then move it down again. Like I was like, nah, dude, I just want to knock these out, right? And so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get rid of all of it. And I just started
sadly, I still
wrapping without any fucking core stabilizers.
I need core stabilizers, otherwise I end up over pinching it and it just collapses on me completely and just turns into a whole tornado.
See, I started leaving a little gap like this and then doing a little bit. Then I slowly increased it every time till I literally had one at the beginning and one at the end, and then I just took the end one off, and I haven't looked back. But you see some of these big coil builders, like I think AJ Holland still uses those little 3D printed nubs that you whack on to help stabilizers. But
yeah, like the patina ones.
Yeah, the old alien makers. But if it works for you, crack on, mate. It makes no difference.
These bad boys.
Yeah, the little 3D printed things.
Yeah. Yeah, you slide them over your cores. In case anyone is curious, you slide your cores through the hole, right? And then as you're wrapping, it just keeps everything nice and tight together. And that way you can also see where your wire's at while you're going down the...
Can you take one out to show them? Just in case anybody wants to see them.
This is a 26 gauge, so... I mean, they're super small. Shout out to Lethal Coils. He actually sent these over to me because I ordered like $60 worth of these, and the dude fucking ghosted me and took my money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so fuck Chris Patino. You could suck my dick.
First episode.
Yeah, honestly, I thought they had gone under a while back.
Yeah, they just got like a little hole in the middle, right? And you're gonna slide your cores through it. And then, I mean, they're super, super tiny, but when you put these on your core, right, when you're wrapping it, it automatically just pushes against it and it just moves it straight down the wire with you.
Yeah. Just
try not to, like, if anyone out there decides that they're going to use them, right, try not to put too much of a lean on it, because I did that at the start and it was causing massive fucking spacing issues because it gives you off the illusion that you should be putting more of a lean on it to keep it pushing down, but no, it'll just lay straight flat. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I use those mostly for multi-core Claptons and stuff. But for aliens, I actually use this guy. I like this more. It's a little clampy guy.
Okay.
So you just clamp your coils down with that, and good to go.
So as you can see, everybody uses different things. Like whatever way you feel helps you. Just if you need to have like 8 bits of Lego or 8 clamps or 5 of those alien things on there, if you need to use it, just use it, mate. If it gives you a good alien, crack on. It's not an issue. You see some of these coil builders that are just racking it just straight and going, doing it full speed, and you feel like that's what you need to get to, but you really don't.
No, I mean, even
you
like
really
when
don't.
When I was doing aliens and I first started Saving Nitro, shout out to Nitro 5150. One piece of advice he gave me was don't be ashamed of just getting at least one coil done at a time. And to me, that actually resonated because I mean, like I said, I still can't do multi aliens in one go. So I just do them one at a time. It takes me a bit longer probably than the next guy, but at the same time, I get the quality I want out of my build, and I'm happier with that than trying to it's the whole quality over quantity type thing.
Yeah.
As long as they're all good, who cares? So, and I mean, like I said, that to me really stood out was the fact that if I could at least get one done that looks good and everything's set the proper way, let's just do it.
Yeah, I'm the same way with it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm slow. Like, I could probably get a lot more done if I cared about quantity over quality, right? But I'm fucking slow because I don't know, I'm just one of those people, like, I like to be real meticulous about everything that I do. Right?
Well, like I mean, even with doing one coil at a time.
Perfect at the start.
Even with doing one coil at a time, I'm still this far ahead.
Yeah. It's a decent amount.
And these all need to be cleaned out, but I even got this jar already going.
Yeah.
This is all I got out of 26s. Just one little itty bitty container.
Yeah, I can't reach mine. Mine are all the way over there.
My graveyard one is a lot more full.
Yeah. See, a lot.
This is my graveyard.
Okay.
See,
Not bad.
Like everything else is already packed up.
the thing that I found was obviously I spend a lot of time when I wrap mine and I clip them. I then take the macro lens over it to make sure that everything's fine, and then I wrap them and then I check them again. I know Duchess does it a couple more times than me, but I always found even if there's the tiniest bit of spacing between the wraps, it's straight in the graveyard. I won't sell it, but I will use it myself.
Yeah.
I do spend a lot of time, and I always double ultrasonic clean mine. Just
Oh yeah, we all do.
it's
Get all that oil and stuff off of there.
yeah. When I got a I can't remember what RDA. Oh, it was the recurve jewel. They sent like the two Chinese fused Claptons. I whacked them in the ultrasonic cleaner, and the amount of crap that came off that put me off.
Really?
Yeah, there was obviously all the machine oil and everything. Because I'm always a bit worried about using anything like that.
I guess funny because we always talk about how those are machine made versus like our coils, which we actually spend time on. I really want to see like the robot making coils.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Just a huge machine making aliens.
Yeah, I've
They
always
don't
been
know.
interested in
aliens because they always come out fused clapped.
that. Well, no, 'cause, like I have seen like here and there, like I've seen like a few like actual like alien spools,
Yeah,
and I'm just like that would be real interesting, right? To like see the robot work because it's like you had to set up this huge decor, right, in order to do this long ass fucking stick to wrap like a 30-foot fucking spool. And it's just like how did you guys get the robot to do this, right? Like because we all talk about like having that feel, right? And like
yeah.
wrapping our coils up and stuff like that. And it's just like I'd be real interested to see how they got the robot to do it.
How the robot gets the tension right and all that.
Well, I can't remember.
Like I said, I'd be interested just to see the robot work.
Yeah, because I can't remember who we were talking to. Who bought the spool of aliens? It did look. I've got to be honest.
Jimmy Wolf.
It did look half decent though.
Yeah, I think it was James Wolf. Shout out to that dude. He's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
But yeah, there was something I was going to ask you, but you threw me completely.
Sorry.
No, it's pain in the ass. But okay, let me ask you a question. What was the first coil you ever made that wasn't a fused Clapton? A Clapton, sorry.
Okay, so I'll be honest. Claptons came after fused Claptons. I learned how to do fused Claptons first because I am the type of I don't want to fucking learn how to crawl. I want to run already.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was the fancy build.
Yeah, probably back in your day it was, wasn't it?
At that time, like, okay, aliens were up and coming, but at that time, fused Claptons, you were a fancy motherfucker. You were making fucking fused Claptons.
Go on, Duchess. Here he goes. He's going to
die. The first one was actually a staggered fused Clapton.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you said you.
To be fair, though, I used the data list, so it made it much easier.
Used the what?
It automatically spaced it for me. I didn't actually have to do any of the hard work.
You gotta love a staggered fused Clapton, though.
But for me to actually be putting in the work, first coil that I made was an alien. Like I skipped Claptons and all that other shit. I was just like, I'm moving straight to fucking alien.
See, like,
if you're using a data list for coil building, don't ever think I won't look down on you. It's fuck, if that's how you build, that's how you build.
But I know people that still use it for their shout out to my dude Corey. He swears by staggered fused Claptons. That's all he wants to vape. And he gives me shit for not building them, but I can't stagger because I'm not actually a good coil builder.
So me being the cheap piece of shit that I am, I didn't want to spend money on a Daedalus, and I already had a drill. So I got this little like crappy dollar store jewelry box, drilled a hole through it, put a bolt that could fit the spool, and then got some like a little like an eyelet screw.
Yeah.
And I I would feed the wire through that, and that's how I used to make my janky Daedalus fuse Claptons.
See, staggered fuse Claptons to me, to start with, was more of a challenge than an alien.
Yeah,
Just to get that
I
spacing
still haven't been able
correct.
to do that.
Yeah, we're going to get you making them. We're going to get you
Oh,
making them soon.
I know.
See, there was loads of different ways of doing it. See, the way I do it is I just use a recurve RDA that's already built, and I just cut off a little bit of wire of the wire that I'm using, and then as I do 3 little wraps and I do 3 spaced wraps, and I wrap it twice in the way that it's wrapping around it, and then I screw it onto the bottom, then I just let it go, and it perfectly spaces them. But some people just use one. Some people use a bulldog clip with a bit of wire and just hold it to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that a lot of people were doing it, they were doing half a Clapton and then stretching across.
I did try that, and it doesn't work out very well.
It didn't work well for me.
Yeah, I
But
could see that being more of an issue, honestly, personally.
yeah, you found some of them when you actually looked at them under the macro lens, they were all like sort of skew with. It wasn't sitting perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, lethal, when I first started, right? Like, and I kind of wanted to at least try them, right? Just to branch out. He told me to use the goon,
Yeah.
right? Because apparently that's like the perfect weight to use the weighted method on making those
Yeah.
staggered.
Yeah, that's what I used. I made sure that my recurve's built, so it's got a huge juggernaut in there, just to give it a bit of a weight. And that's a build you don't want to do as well. They're awful.
Well, I mean, throughout this whole journey, we'll just that way people are aware, we will get better, and there's gonna be a lot of anger.
Oh yeah. Oh, do you know that's a good segue. We'll let them know. Every episode, we will be giving each other challenges for the group, and throughout the time between each episode, we'll be collecting pictures of our progress with a build, and then on the next show, we'll show you all the pictures. If they're vapable, we will vape them. If not,
We'll talk about it.
We'll take the piss out of each other. But they will progressively get more and more hard and more rage inducing.
So we're gonna start out with something simple, and we're gonna do a parallel alien, and I'll show you an example of that once I open my Instagram.
And I'm still on the whole. If you guys want to throw challenges our way, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not sure we'll be able to do them, but we're willing to take them on.
Just no ribbon wire, please. No ribbon wire.
That's all we're gonna get just because you said something.
Yeah, do you know what? I've actually still got my first ever.
We're gonna our first build, right? Just because we're going from simple to more difficult as time goes on. This is our first build, parallel aliens.
Which I've already done, so I'm alright. You watch. I'm gonna fuck it massively. Is that actually my one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck it.
He's like, I cheated.
Yeah, I just took it off a Google image. But no, it's if you guys have any sort of requests or suggestions, our email address is in the description and our Instagram. Just literally chuck us a message if you want us to do anything specific. And this show's not just about us three chatting shit for an hour. If there's anything that you want us to specifically talk about, i.e. swivels, because trust me, swivels are a pain in the ass. I've bought so many swivels that have just broken on me. So if you have any questions,
good luck with swivels.
I've gone through so many swivels. But anything, like even if it's something simple, like yeah, so they're similar to the ones I've got now.
See, dude, I bought the 3-pack and I'm still using the first one. It's been like 2-3 years because I actually looked through my Amazon cart wondering when the hell I bought these.
Mine, I've had them just bust on me. They've just gone, just ruined builds. But yeah, Jackson, ribbon, no thank you. But yeah, even something simple you want to know. You want us to talk about different wires, like camphor over nichrome, stainless steel, all that shit, drills, swivels, vices, anything. Just let us know, and we can dedicate a whole episode to it if needs be.
Absolutely. I mean, even if you thought about trying to get into it, but you were a little bit hesitant, if you wanna ask questions, I mean, the email is in the description. You can always send us an email. We'll go ahead and we'll answer that for you either live and or we'll send you an email back and we'll answer it that way.
Yeah. Well, before we forget, we do have a Spotify playlist that I've just uploaded. So every episode we're going to pick 2 songs each to add to the playlist. We will be in the future trying to get other coil builders in to be guests, and when they come in, we'll get them to pick some tunes. So hopefully we can get ourselves a good playlist. And yeah, so if do you want to jump? Should we jump into tunes? You can chuck us some tunes quickly, or I'll catch you off guard.
And then we'll pick one from chat as well.
That's a good shout, yeah.
So pick one from chat. So start putting some suggestions in the chat. Maybe we'll pick some.
Anything. It can be any genre, but we can pretty much guess.
Not country.
I'm
country now.
I'm gonna pick a country song now then.
Was it Jesus Take the Wheel?
Right. So my
Easter, it works.
My first tunes are gonna be Pantera, 5 Minutes Alone, and Weight of the Tide, The Architect. So, Jay, you got 2 songs?
Which Jay?
You, Jay, not Duchess.
Me, Jay. All right. I want to go with Kasha Strain Doomblade. And then, I'm trying to think of what the second tune was, because that one hit me earlier. I was like, dude, we're going to go with that one. Wanted to go with something like completely opposite spectrum. But you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to do Corn Blind, just because that's like one of the first tunes I ever really got into.
Go on, Duchess. What do you want?
We're going to do Cattle Decapitation, Bring Back the Plague, off of the album Death Atlas. And second song, I would have to say... I listen to so much music that I'm actually not 100% sure.
That's why I have Spotify open.
I wanted to catch you off guard. That was the whole point. So you can just throw the first 2 songs that come into your head.
Okay, to just go to iTunes. He's like, he's anti-Spotify.
I am anti-Spotify.
Oh,
because he'd rather pay per song than actually just do a
you know what? Let's go with Blink-182 Los Angeles.
Nice. Well, we got any in chat?
Yeah, Jackson says Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. We got some from Advocate for Liberty.
Advocate for Liberty doesn't get any.
Yeah, he wins on every other show. He doesn't get picked.
Dude, on the Omis, I think on the 2 playlists, he had at least 30% of the songs.
Right,
Anthony Romella always comes up with good suggestions.
I did want to do a quick shout out because Anthony's on here. That awesome intro you guys saw, that was all Shake and Bake Media. That's why they are a show sponsor. So go check them out if you need any like social media stuff or labels and all that. Go check them out. Seriously, they do some amazing work. Jedi, he recently showed me the new Vaping Jedi logo that he got made out from Shake and Bake Media.
That looks good. That looks so good.
Yeah, absolutely. So head over to shakeandbakemedia.com and all the prices and everything else that you need are going to be right there on the website. If you have any questions, then go ahead, and I'm sure Anthony Romella would be okay with you possibly sending him either an email and or a DM if you want to try to follow him on Instagram to hit him up. It's I'm _Anthony Romella on IG, and you can figure out what's going on with all that over there.
So I think I might go for White Snake. Get a bit of White Snake in there.
There you go.
We need a
no advocate for liberty.
Right, let me get this down. White Snake.
The Leaf Village says no.
Let's see. You know what? Jackson threw out some really good ones, so I think we'll go with we'll go with Jackson this first time around.
Jackson's a legend. Good bloke.
We'll do White Snake. Is This Love?
Yeah.
Belter. Right. Do you guys want to do a bit of plugging? Well, yeah. I think Duchess has got an announcement to make.
I'll make it after you guys, though.
No.
Oh, look at him. He's being all cool.
Here we go. Go on, Klowne. You go first.
All right. If you guys are interested in any of the juicer coils that I make, hit me up. On Instagram, Discord, Facebook, or email clownvapes@gmail.com. Also, go check me out on my channel. I do reviews and stuff. You never seen my ugly mug before. I do reviews from time to time. I've been kind of slacking on those lately, but I do reviews. And on Tuesdays we do a mixing show, like a DIY show. We do like all sorts of random recipes. Right now we've been doing a series where we actually take a particular brand and make mixes just based on that one brand. So like this coming week, we're doing Wonder Flavors, and we're going to try to do some entries for the Wonder Flavors competition they got going on. So we're like, let's do it. And so we're excited about that one. And yeah, go check that show out, because seriously, it's been fun. And seriously, you guys don't know how bad the recipes used to be back in 2015. And I've even re-looked at like my old recipe because they're all on my ELR page, and I'm like, oh, dude, you did not know what the fuck you were doing, bro. You did not know.
Well, I smashed through that 120 mils that you told me, that recipe you told me to make. All gone already. I'm gonna have to make another batch.
Yeah, no, it's really funny because I looked through your things. I was like, okay, didn't even take me a second. I was like, that one, and then I typed it up, and I was like, here, try this recipe.
Well, guys, if you've never DIY'd before, this guy is such a good little teacher. I've tried it once or twice, and every time they smell and taste like mouldy forest. You think it's easy? Trust me, it's really not. So
just trying to figure out your balance. For me, seafood, dude, seafood. I was telling my wife last night, like seafood goes into these very long explanations, but you come out of it so much more knowledgeable, so much feeling smarter about DIYs, just because the explanations are so thorough.
Yeah,
I did the dude.
Yeah, I mean, he lives up to the seafood name. He really does.
His liquids are great as well. I had some one of his root beers.
Dude, I got the fig in, I think, on Thursday, and this is a 30 ml bottle. I only got that bit left. And I even told Sifu, I'm in trouble, dude, because I'm gonna have to get more.
Well, I did show off your bottles, but I got sent some drunken apple cakes. If you like a black coffee in the morning, get yourself some of this with a black coffee. Perfect morning. It is great. And I got World Ender as well, which is also another good one. And
told you, right?
Wrecking Balls, which is his little surprise to me, which is a key lime pie. Brilliant liquids. Bloody hell! I'll send it my way.
All right. Whoever wants to go next, I don't know. I don't know if Duchess wants to.
I think Duchess wants to go last, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do have a website, but being not very technically minded, it still says launching in December because I still haven't worked out how to create this website. So if you want any coils, hit me up on Instagram. It's at TheCloudCartelUK, or hit me up on Facebook, which is obviously the Cloud Cartel UK. You can hit me up on Twitter, but I still haven't worked out how to use that. So you're better off with those two, or drop me an email at TheCloudCartelUK@gmail.com. and I can hook you up. I'm going to find another way of getting orders in rather than you just having to message me. But I ship internationally and I don't charge shipping, so wherever you are in the world, drop me a message and I'll ship them out to you. Also, want to give a shout out to the Vaping Jedi. I do a podcast with him called Across the Pond on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcast, and iTunes Podcast. We've had Klowne on there as well. Our next one's going to be a very good one. I'm not going to give away anything just yet. I've also got a Teespring site with some bit of merch on there. That's down in the description because I cannot remember what the Teespring site's called. But yeah, if you want to get a t-shirt, jumper, I've got face masks, got socks. Or if you want a nice pair of leggings, they're on there. Don't ask me why. I just clicked on everything and just put a logo on it. So if you want to grab any,
do the same thing.
Or you can grab a Cloud Cartel mug. I think that's all the plugging I've got. Duchess, give us your news.
So for those that don't already know, I'm pretty sure, just looking at the chat here, everyone here already does. But if you're new, one, go ahead, click that subscribe button, and click the little notification bell right next to it, so that way you know when we go live for the next show. I mean, obviously we're gonna post up on Instagram and Discords and everything else to let you guys know. But just in case you're not part of any of those, yeah, again, click that subscribe and the little notification bell so that way you know when we go live again. Otherwise, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Duchess_coils. Just as it pretty much reads in the chat, just with an underscore between the two words. And then the big announcement. I know I've kept you guys waiting for quite a while.
Drum roll, please.
But first caveat, it is a little difficult for me to get wire as of right now with the regulations that are going on within the United States. So if for some reason the link disappears, it's because I had to take a step back for a little bit so that way I could build stock back up without getting overwhelmed. But if you go over to my Instagram page right now, the link to the order form is now officially available. So if you want to pick up some Duchess coils, head right on over to Instagram.com/Duchess_coils and pick some of them bad boys up, and we'll get you all taken care of. I know that my order form says that I'll send you a message, but just go ahead, send me a message on either Instagram and or on Discord if you know me there, and we'll get this ball rolling. Otherwise, that's all I got going on. Otherwise, it's Sunday, which means that it's shed time. So make sure you go follow Shed Time Podcast at shedtimepodcast.com and on IG.
Well, I suppose it is Sunday, so happy Easter. Did you get any Easter eggs this year, Duchess?
No, because I hate holidays.
No. It's such a miserable old shit.
I'm kind of a look, I'm a grumpy asshole when fucking holidays come around. I do not do holidays.
Everybody in the chat, send him an Easter egg.
Because I'm already a fat ass.
You're gonna get so many Christmas
cards. Every holiday is an eating holiday if you really think about it.
Oh, does anybody have anything else that they want to announce or anything?
No.
Jay, when's your Mixing It Up show so people know?
Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which then at least the US times.
It would be 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and then Mountain Time's like what, 6 to 5?
2 hours behind you because I'm on California's time right now.
Yeah, but your state is the weird one that doesn't.
Yeah, we don't change times around Mountain Standard, but as of right now,
yeah,
until daylight savings changes again,
you're on
Pacific.
You're on PDT.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you're in Mountain Time and your state does change the time, you're like an hour behind me, so it'd be like at 6. Then adjust.
Yeah, if you're in some place like Utah or Colorado, then just change it back 1 hour from 7 p.m. Central.
I'm trying to remember, Labworks came on the show one time and trying to figure out his time zone was such a pain because he's in Australia. And it was like the next morning already when we do the show.
I think this is a good time for both of us. I thought we was going to struggle because obviously
Yeah.
I'm over in cold old England, but it's a good time. But guys, just so you know, our show is going to be every 3 weeks. The only reason we picked 3 weeks is so it gave us time to work on the challenges and to get some good content ready for you. So it's not a weekly thing. Keep an eye on our Instagram and in the Discords, and we will just keep updating you with. It'll be the same time, but it'll be a difference. It'll be 3 Sundays from today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the links that you guys need are all down in the description to all the social medias. Our email is down there. The show's Instagram is down there. Our personal Instagrams are down there. All that stuff. But yeah, like Sloane was saying, every 3 weeks again, just so that way we have time to try to master these builds on top of keeping our stock up for selling coils to you guys. Just so that way it doesn't become too much of a juggling act.
All right. Well, I think we're bang on an hour with 17 viewers, so I think we've done quite well for the first one. So everyone give yourself a round of applause. Duchess won't do it. But yeah, guys, cheers. Thank you for coming to watch our first show. It will get a lot more exciting, but first one's obviously us just chatting shit about ourselves for a while. So, is any
Plans and ideas.